Enough. Let's go to the quick six show topics, Jordan. So, NHL playoffs, we'll start there, but there's almost news that superseded it, which is Bob Young's tweet, the caretaker in Hamilton. Do we have the tweet? It came out this morning about an hour before I got in here, about 8 or 9 this morning. There it is, up on the screen. He's quote tweeting a news article from 3 Down Nation in which Arash Madani's talking, is quoted by 3 Down, talking about a lack of confidence around the CFL that there will actually be football this year. And Bob says, this is just a silly tweet. He says, of course there will be a CFL season. I cannot speak for anyone else in our league, but I can guarantee the Ticats will play. Although if no one else plays, I suppose we might even win the Grey Cup this year. And a little celebrating birthday hat emoji. So Bob Young guarantees there will be football, guarantees the Tiger Cats will play, but he doesn't guarantee that anybody else will play. So
are they going to have an inter-squad game?
Your initial reaction to that tweet.
I think Bob's tweet was a lot sillier than Arash's. I mean, I can't guarantee you that any of the other teams are going to play, but I know we're going to play. Okay, well, who are you going to play against then, Bob? For the record, though, I do think there will be a season. I want to say that.
Yep.
I predicted way back, that this August 5th date was a little bit bogus. I think what it does is it gives you another month, right? So you can flex your muscles and you can really, like, we have to start by the 5th. We have to start in August. We have to. Well, okay, maybe Labor Day. Like, it gives you that little, but I think if you set Labor Day as a hard, fast date, you really don't have any room. What's the point of playing a 6-game season?
I know.
Or 7 or 8. You know what I mean? So I do think they're going to play. I just don't think they're going to start in August, but I do think that they're going to have kind of half of a season.
Well, as William May says on Facebook, Full House in Saskatchewan comes
PJ
September.
Up there.
Yeah, right.
Sponsors.
That's right. Well, PJ's comment was about the weather. Yeah, Universal Collision loves the snow.
If it was up to him, it would be like skating rinks 12 months of the year.
Yeah, I know. Love you checking in here, PJ, this morning. Hope things are good over there. We'll have to
I agree with you,
get over there and see it. But it's so interesting. Like, I look at this tweet, and I've been kind of thinking about it this morning, and are they starting to come apart at the seams? Like, to me, I like it because if you think you're going to play, say you're going to play. Say you want to play. At least get the fans excited. But to me, this kind of screams, we're not unified anymore in those board meetings, in those ownership meetings, in those president meetings, in those governors meetings. We're not unified. Like, we haven't as a group been able to get onto the same page to say, here's our schedule. Here we're going to play. We're going to start on Labor Day. Guess what? If they can't play in Ontario because it's on fire and locked down, we're committing to paying in the bubble and paying for it, playing in the bubble.
Yeah.
So here's Bob on his own saying, we're going to play. And kind of almost undermining the authority. It kind of screams of that a little bit. That, look, I'm the guy in this meetings who really wants to play. No matter what, I want to play. Yeah. And we'll do whatever we have to do to play. I can't speak for everybody else. So when it comes out in August or in September that, hey, we're going to cancel our season again because the bubble's too expensive and COVID hasn't gotten where it needs to be and we haven't had enough vaccines, just know the Tiger Cats were wanting to play.
And that's fine. I kind of like that. But I don't disagree with you. I mean, look, not to take this in a totally different direction, but in business, okay, there's sort of an unwritten rule in the boardroom that we may all yell and scream at each other in here. That's fine.
Yeah.
But when we go out there, we're one. So I may not like what happened in that board meeting, and my group, I can only have 1 vote out of 9 or whatever. I might pound my fist down on the boardroom table and adamantly disagree with everybody in here. But when I leave that boardroom, when I go out into that corridor and somebody puts a microphone in my face, I'm with you guys. Even if I'm not. I have to pretend to be. That's what good, cohesive businesses do. Whether you're a car dealership, whether you're whatever, you get these different car dealerships or, different managers at different dealerships. Whether you're at a radio station and you get the program director and the general manager and the DJ. You get all of these different guys, and they're fighting amongst themselves. But when they talk to people out there in the community, you can't have different guys with different agendas airing their dirty laundry. And I agree that sometimes in the CFL, it's like it's disjointed. People, I think the guy here does a good job. You don't ever see Craig Reynolds arguing, and disagreeing with what this guy said or what that guy said. But it does feel sometimes that they're not all on the same page. Well, you better get on the same page here pretty quick, because what's the date today, Darren? 18th of May?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be playing in August? So maybe you better get a plan, and you better get everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. And while I'm ranting, here's another thing that I've been thinking about, I've been pondering. This is what I do when I'm not thinking about my son's football at 10:30 at night when, after, Jays and 30 is over and I'm ready to watch something else. So here in Saskatchewan, we've got this pretty good plan that's been rolled out. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, you can't argue that it at least, if nothing else, there's been good communication.
That's right.
Best in the country.
Yep.
So you got this little thermometer going. Okay, every day, the premier, whether you like him or not, here's how many people 40 plus have been vaccinated. Here's how many 30 plus have been vaccinated. Here's how many 18 plus have been vaccinated. And they've already established that once you get to 70% of people vaccinated at 40 plus, we're 30 days away from the first step starting. Then, 30 days after that, step 2, providing that 30 plus are at 70%. And then, providing that there's 18%, settle down, will you? Okay? This moose, he's causing nothing but trouble here. Then there's another 30 days for 18 plus. So the point is that there's a plan.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, unless I'm missing something, you got 30 days after the original opening, which would be May the 30th, and then the step 3 would be 30 days after that. So you're talking early to mid-July that you would literally have at least 70% of people 18 plus vaccinated.
That's
and
right.
Now they're starting to open up the second round.
Yeah.
Right? So people that were 80, some would be vaccinated twice. Well, if they're getting now 130,000 doses or vaccines a week,
Yeah.
that number by the early part of July, you could literally have 40 to 50% of people, period, that have been vaccinated twice. So let's just pretend for a minute that the rest of the country, for some reason, they just can't be as efficient as Saskatchewan. No matter how hard they try.
Okay.
We're just way superior in getting the needles in, rolling up the sleeves and getting needles in arms.
Yeah.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt of 2 or 3 weeks. Well, there wouldn't be a province in the country that by August the 5th wouldn't have about 40 or 50% of their residents vaccinated twice. So what's the problem? Why can't we play? Like, what is it going to take for some of these people to just relax, take a deep breath, and say, guys, it's okay. You got 50% of your population that have been vaccinated twice. And we still want to hold everybody back and say you can't have 25 or 50% or whatever that number is watching sports in stadiums?
I know.
What is it going to take,
I know.
Darren?
I know. And we haven't gotten to anything on the show topic.
Jeez.
We will. We got 2 hours to do this. We're in cruise control now.
So does he get
As of today, Saskatchewan, by the way, vaccines are eligible for those 16 and over.
Yeah.
So we're rolling.
I got the big man booked.
Yeah. I got mine on Saturday. We're rolling. But we're 3 weeks away from going to stage 2 once we have 70%.
Yeah.
Then once we get to that, we have to wait another 3 weeks for stage 3 and another 3. So we're 9 weeks away from getting to a place where we have 70% of our adults vaccinated, and we're into step 3 or whatever.
But there will be a lot of people that will have their second dose by that time.
85 and over are eligible now, and if you've had it before February 15th, you can get your second vaccine. You can book it now. So that's great. But the other provinces haven't even started this plan. They're not even at step 1 yet. So when each of those get to step 1, it's 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Right? So we're at 9 weeks now.
Well, if they do the same plan.
Right. And if they do the same plan, which has been effective.
Which they should, because ours is working.
Right. But when they start, it's minimum 9 weeks to catch up. So when you start stacking 9 weeks on top of each other, it's hard to imagine that we'll get there by September.
Yeah, but they're okay. But they may not be doing it exactly. So we've done it differently, right?
Right.
We've kind of said, okay, 80,
they might
70,
just roll it out
60,
to, hey, 18 and over, let's go.
Whatever. But Saskatchewan represents about 3 to 3.5% of the population of the country.
Yeah.
So we're getting our doses accordingly on a strictly a per capita basis. So in Ontario, they're getting whatever it is, 15 times or 20 times the vaccines that we are. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to kind of stay on track.
And they'll get ours too because we'll be done handing them out, right? We'll have most of our... So you'll have more opportunities and more production. So it could move. It should move faster, right?
Yeah, but I don't. I guess what wears me out, Darren, is I just get tired of every time I turn on Twitter, you get some guy somewhere saying it's too much too soon.
Yeah.
Why is it? Do you want to be buried in your basement for the next year until every single person has their second dose? I don't. Oh, this is going to be a good 2 hours. I can feel it. We got 5 more topics to get to, but we're going to keep the football conversation going. Blake Nill, head coach of the UBC Thunderbirds, is locked and loaded as we'll get into U Sports football. I'm really excited about this. This is my bread and butter, U Sports football, and we'll get to more of your comments. Good morning. Thanks for checking in all across Canada and around the world on Facebook, YouTube, and Game Plus, and we'll be right back. You can listen full 24/7 sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.